always so excited to have you. I am Jennifer Catrulia, co-president of Family Office Association, and typically joined by Rush Olney, of course, my co-president. And but today we're trying a few unique things with you to hopefully bring you something very special. And so I am on my own today, but look forward to being rejoined by Rush next week as we welcome our next guest, Jay Rogers, who many of you already know. But stay tuned for some posts about Jay, and we're super excited to have him. This week, we are going to just delve into the minds of some of the most influential figures in the realm of innovation, entrepreneurship, and legacy building. Really, really excited about the conversation today. And we're going to be really supporting the three pillars of FOA in a way I'm very excited about. Those three pillars, of course, being Unite, Thrive, Give. Uniting multi-generational single offices and wealth accumulators, and really just that extended family network. Thrive, of course, where we empower current and next-gen leaders of families coming together to optimize their current family structure and really support the sense of families helping families, and doing that in a very active way to achieve greatest possible successes. And then that extends directly into the third pillar, which is give. And that's using all of that success and all of that multi-generational experience to give, whether that's during the family journey and obviously critically important, or as part of giving to the next generation, giving through impact, philanthropy, and all of those things that families are able to influence and drive in a way like really no other group or individuals can come together to do. So very, very exciting. We continue on this mission together, and whether you're joining us live today on any one of our platforms, so as you see me, we have a number of different places we're turning to bring everyone together, which is exciting. But whether you're live with us or watching this on a recorded version, we're really thrilled to have you with us. And so today I have the unique privilege of sharing insights from two remarkable individuals, Jason Ho and Michael Zhu. And I realize many of you know them already. So for some of you, this will just be, you'll say, oh, of course, and be excited, hopefully, to hear their updates. For those of you who don't know Jason and Michael, I'm so excited to bring them to you, and I'm so grateful that they've spent the time with us. So Jason is an entrepreneur, a family leader, and really has paved the way as a visionary founder of the Beyond Expo event. He's a luminary in the tech and innovation space. His efforts have propelled Beyond Expo into a leading platform for showcasing technological advancements, fostering international collaboration, really educating and bringing people to Asia and to really a collaboration across the world of top family offices, allocators, innovators, and really a special environment of thousands of people coming together to share experience and opportunities. So we're going to be driving forward the conversation on sustainability, healthcare, consumer technology, and all of the things that really have been a part of Beyond Expo. And then alongside Jason, we have Michael Zhu. Michael, again, many of you know Michael. I could go on a long list of his history and accomplishments, and his generosity, I'm sure is known to those of you who have had the pleasure of interacting with him. But Jason is the founder of Asian Family Legacy Foundation. He's the leader, of course, of his family office, and his work focuses on nurturing the continuity of family legacies through philanthropy, responsible stewardship, and the cultivation really of cross-generational wealth management strategies. And so Michael's doing a number of really cool things. If you have not been in touch, hopefully you'll have the opportunity to reconnect soon, because he's just obviously always on the move and bringing exceptional new things to the market, as well as such an interesting, obviously, and accomplished history he's bringing to the table. So his foundation is on the forefront of facilitating meaningful conversations in wealth, legacy, and the impact of philanthropy on societal progress. And I have to say, I've gotten to know Michael and Jason over the course of the last year or so, and as we think about FOA as really a community, an extended family, it is always a pleasure and a privilege when you meet individuals who are doing such exceptional things on a global level, but in a way that is so humble and so inviting and action, and so making such a strong impact. And so this was a unique opportunity, and I was so excited. And I will also say, super fun because and interesting because this show is being brought to you, of course, on one of the rare solar eclipses. And if you're watching this as a recording, this is being putting together or announced or aired on the day of the solar eclipse, at least in the northeast of the U.S. and across the country. And then, but on the day we recorded this, Friday, the 5th of April, was in the Northeast area, the latest earthquake. And so that was something that you'll pick up on during the recording, definitely an unintended part of an unexpected part of our time together. So you'll have all of that in one show, very active few days. So in this special pre-recorded interview from Friday, Jason and Michael, they'll provide an exclusive sneak peek into their upcoming Beyond Wealth Summit event on May 24th, which is the bringing together again of Beyond Expo and of the Asian Family Legacy Foundation. The event will be in Macau. We're gonna share out the link, and we're actually gonna be really giving some real estate on our page to more information about the event. But again, bringing together as a collaboration Beyond Expo and the Asian Family Legacy Foundation. And it really promises to be a pivotal gathering for global allocators, family offices, institutional investors, and it's aimed at navigating the complexities of modern wealth, technology, innovation, and really with a very keen eye on the future and bringing together really the best of all worlds. And so our conversation will hit on the importance of embracing technological advancements and what they're seeing across the marketplace. And again, across thousands of participants in this event, the evolving landscape of global investment trends, the crucial role of philanthropy in shaping a purpose-driven legacy. And so both Jason and Michael will share their unique perspectives on how all of that comes together. And then they will also be talking a bit during the time together, of course, about the rapidly changing global economy and how all of this is interconnected. So I hope you'll sit back, relax, and prepare to be inspired by the fun and forward-thinking insights of Jason Ho and Michael Zhu. A lot of energy, a lot of fun, and a tremendous amount of value. So thank you again to Michael and to Jason for joining us. Very, very excited. And let's dive into the interview. Jason, we'll kick off with you. I know Michael's repeatedly said you're the star of our show today, so.
Yeah, so my name is Jason. I'm the co-founder of Beyond Expo. So we started Beyond Expo during COVID in 2021. So this year is our fourth edition, and I'm so glad that last year through Michael I've met with Jennifer as well. So I think what we wanted to do is to bring more people to learn about Asia. So I think that's basically what we wanted to do. So that's my background.
Amazing. And I'm going to come back to you because I know you're being very modest as you share that. And I want to make sure we give everybody the framework if they're not aware. So, but Michael, if you don't mind, would love to share a little bit about you with everyone.
100%. Well, thank you very much, Jennifer, for having us on this show. It's really, really, generous of you. So I think Jason's being very modest and humble. I was thinking about giving a whole background, but I'll cut it half.
We welcome it, and maybe it'll set the stage for Jason to come back to us.
Exactly. Anyway, so Jason and I know for quite a few years. And I, born and raised in China, spent decent amount of time living and working in the States, particularly in New York area. I'm currently managing on a single family office for myself, my family, and I'm a fourth generation from the family. And at the same time, we built a non-transactional, non-commercial platform called the Asian Family Legacy Foundation, where we actually are really resonated with your mission with the FOA. Where we're uniting all the global family offices, and then we help them to thrive. And at the same time, we ask them to give back before ask. And then so that's really about it. And then so we're honored to be here and share all what we're doing.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Michael. And I know you have a number of exciting things happening, so excited to continue watching the path ahead. And Jason, so we'll try to tie in the expanded intro about yourself as we talk about basically the Beyond Expo, the history of it, how you've gotten to this point, and really your experiences that have led up to this.
Yeah, so as I said earlier, so we started this during COVID. It was really tough, but then we kind of put it off because I think a lot of people are interested in learning about Asia. I think the reason why we wanted to create this because we see a lot of big tech platform in the Western world. We see CS, we see Slush, we see even WEF. So there are a lot of events on the Western side, but then there isn't really one platform that could bring the whole Asia community together in Asia. So when we look at the whole Asia ecosystem, we found one place where I'm currently based in. It's Macau. So Macau is we call it the Vegas of Asia, right? It's a very small place, but then it is very special because it's very neutral in some sense where we don't compete with anyone. We have one of the best hotels in the whole world. We have a lot of good restaurants, so we felt like, oh, that might make sense for us to build a platform over in Macau. So that's how the idea started. Michael has been supporting us since the start. It was very hard for him to supporting it for us. I mean, supporting us in the first 2 years because of COVID. But then last year he started. We kind of started something we call it the Wealth Summit, which I think this year it's going to be bigger. I think Michael will go deeper on that as well. I think that's something that we wanted to bring. We wanted to bring a lot of tech companies here. We want to bring the newest technologies and showcase it to the world. We wanted to bring different countries, government representatives to come. We want to bring a lot of investors to come. So, um, Michael has been telling me that, hey, you should do something on the allocator side because I think that's very important. We need to give um a very safe haven or a very safe environment or comfortable environment for allocators to at least meet in one place to learn about the Asia scene. So I think that's how this Wealth Summit has started. And last year we did a smaller one. This year we Michael has a very bigger and ambitious saying that we have to do it bigger. I give him a little bit pressure as well. I want more people to come. So here we are, and I think that's what Beyond is. We wanted to create this Asia tech platform in a very neutral place where we chose Macau as the home of Beyond.
Well, thank you very much. And I know as you we had the pleasure of you joining us for lunch a while back, and the response, I have not had the pleasure of visiting Macau, but certainly across the room, those who had were cheering loudly about all of this and very excited. So I'm very interested to continue learning more. And I know you had a lot of fans who are eager to see and hopefully get to join you. And so Michael, Jason just put a lot of pressure on you and a lot of both credit and blame. So if you don't mind, maybe you can share more about foundation and how that's tied into the two of you coming together.
100%. I think given this world is changing rapidly, the things that we're always seeking for is being resilient, right? So although Jason gave me a lot of pressure, but I still feel I should be staying a little bit resilient and accomplish something that are more substantial. So I think Jason mentioned a couple of different things that are really, really important. Where in Asia, I think we have China, with Japan, Korea, Southeast Asia, and other countries. So I think never ever there's a platform that can aggregate not only founders but investors, government, non-for-profit, everybody come into the stage, then share what they do, and then share all the amazing things that they actually are achieving and accomplishing. And honestly speaking, last year was my first year, although I'm born and raised in China. Also, my first year and then my first time went to Macau. I was so amazed. I think that the room was so full, and everybody was so energetic about hearing, learning, and sharing. And I think that's really the platform is all about. And I think that beyond what we give the names for the Wealth Summit, we thought about different options. But we still think Beyond is a good name because it's double meaning. If you really think about it, Beyond is a brand for such a great platform. But at the same time, when you're thinking about the modern wealth, and then we're going to talk about that, the title for a little bit. But when you come back to the name of the whole thing, I think beyond also means what you are looking forward, right? So, and then particularly for the family offices, I think is that these are special group of people. A lot of them are very siloed. A lot of them are really lonely, particularly given all the globalization happening. So, and I think that there's a might be an opportunity for bring them to all together to show what they do and then to show their experience a lot of times and they can all learn from each other. And then I think the Asian Family Legacy Foundation is established with that purpose of sharing, all the legacies that are from, let's say, the families has 5 generations and 6 generations. And then, Asia is happening in Asia, the intergenerational wealth transfer is happening never ever before. And I think that from my dad generation to my generations and now to the future generations, there are trillions of dollars that are going to be passed along to next generations. And however, I think those group of people need to be, sort of taken care of. And I need to have a good sort of a safe zone and a non-commercial, environment for them to really dive into this. And at the same time, I think if we can create a broader opportunity and a broader platform for them to look at the technology, look at accessibility, look at the healthcare, look at the impact investment, and look at the philanthropy, and then that's perfect, right? So, and then that's where we created this whole Beyond Wealth Summit, where on one side they will have a very closed door, exclusive, extremely invite only environment for them to really navigate and then really talk to each other and then discuss. But at the same time, Jason put an amazing event. Every year has roughly around like 20,000 people attending, a massive. And it just have a lot of great people, a lot of good energy, a lot of new front technology, and a lot of, really amazing investors and the founders are there. And I know, Jason's being really humble, and then he also rolled out a very special group of people with all the founders, with the unicorn founders. So he can touch a little bit about that, but all those whoever is on the front line about the new technology innovation, I think that's a good for creating that environment for family offices, all the allocators to know about.
Well, and I think that's a great segue into the question. Certainly, family office events are out of necessity and also want kept very protected, right? And so certainly this you want that as well. You've had conversations about how to make this meaningful and productive and a positive to include allocators and others in the event. And so maybe you can talk about the audience that you expect and how this is curated to really create an incredible experience for each of the groups coming together.
100%. I think I can touch upon the Wealth Summit, and maybe Jason can give a little bit more color in terms of a broader Beyond Expo audience. So for us, and I think for the Beyond Wealth Summit, we anticipate to have handpicked about 100 to 120 people, all coming from allocator perspective. We welcome all the next generations, principals, and the CIOs. But also we carve out a certain percentage for institutional investors to come into the game and ensure how they're actually, looking at the market from an institution perspective. So the audience that we're targeting are really, really, sort of an open-minded, humble, and they really want to learn. No matter how wealthy you are, actually, when you come in the room, you are just like a new student, and you're gonna meet with the like-minded people. You're gonna meet people who are really, really substantially, impactful in the ways that they can. No matter it's come to art and culture, food and beverage, real estate, or some other industries. And then so I think that's type of the people that we're attracting. And obviously, although it's in Asia, but with globalizations happening, we want to have more East meets West styled gathering. So meaning we'll also have a decent amount of Western families coming from United States, Latin America, Europe, and then some other regions coming from the world, coming all the way to Macau, meet with all the Asian families. I think that's also create a great synergies for families from the East and West to meet each other and learn from each other as well.
Absolutely, and very exciting. And I know, Michael, throughout our conversations, that's been really important to you, that exchange and sharing at a global level. And so it sounds like this will be a great opportunity to bring a lot of that together. Jason, I always throw some questions here. If everybody knows who's watched the shows before, we do some advanced prep, but I always have some questions that come up that weren't on our prep, so I just throw them at you. So and really this one within Beyond Expo, and you talk about this being so focused on emerging technologies and on innovation, et cetera. We have conversations, obviously, Web3, AI. What are some of the top things you're seeing coming into the event that you expect to really be highlighted?
Yeah, so I think at Beyond we focus on three main sectors. One is consumer tech, second is climate tech, and the third one is healthcare.
Mhm.
I see a lot of exhibitors coming from the AI side. Of course, I think it's a hot topic. But how AI can be used in different industries or in different verticals, I think that's what we are seeing, that might be majority of our exhibitors are. So last year we had around 600 companies joining us as exhibitors. So this year we're hoping to get around 800 to 1,000. So I would say we will have a lot of robotic companies. I think on the climate tech side, we will see a lot of alternative energy solutions or even electric cars coming as well. So I think those are some I would say more trendy verticals that I've been seeing from our exhibitors this year.
Welcome back. For those who saw us took a pause, we did. So Michael's sitting in New York City. I am in Connecticut today, and we just had a little earthquake. So I have to say, in my experience with FOA, and actually in most of my life, the two of you are the only time I could say I've been seated and had an earthquake. And I am not in California, neither are you, Michael. But so the two of you are now my earthquake experience as we have this conversation. I think that speaks to the excitement about Beyond Expo. That's what I'm going to go with. Everything the two of you are doing, it actually has shaken the planet. So thank you for that. And so to continue on, I'm glad, Michael, you're safe, and hope everyone who's listening to this, that no one had any damage or anything. So we're laughing about it now, as at least we know everybody's okay. So Jason, as we're talking a little bit during the unplanned break. You mentioned all the different types of companies coming together and the various technologies and verticals. And so one of the things that we often find as we attend these events is that first, just finding the right way to bring innovation together and entrepreneurs in a family office space in a way that's very productive and positive, and allows everyone to maximize the opportunity, but also finding differentiators, technology companies all bringing together things that may have some overlap and may have some similarities, even though everyone thinks they're very unique. During or after the event, I'd love to reconnect with you if it's okay, or learn how you share that education, even with the entrepreneurs, and provide that cross education between the family offices, the allocators, et cetera, and your entrepreneurs who attend.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the the main point of having these kind of platform or event is to really to even for the entrepreneur themselves, I think to see more of like similar companies what they're doing, as you said. I think they might be focusing only on their own city or country's market, but then when I think Beyond is a platform where we wanted every companies to explore out of the comfort zone. So I think that's something it's a lesson for them as well to see someone that are might be competing with them in some sense, but they might not even have heard of them. So I think that's a very um main elements that we wanted to bring to an event. Not only for entrepreneurs but also for investors as well, because you can see similar companies and you can see why are this company doing well and why aren't this company doing well. So I think that's something that if our platform grows bigger and bigger, I think that's that you will see overlapping for sure. And it will get more and more, but then I think that's something that it's more time efficient for a lot of people, especially for investors, to see what's right for them and what's the right company they should be investing in.
Well, and I think that's really important because I mean, you are raising all ships in that sense from an entrepreneurial perspective. You can get so isolated as you're building whatever your dream or your mission is, and you can lose perspective and really competitive edge by not seeing what else is out there. So that's one point. But also, I find from the family office space, as you both are, I'm often brought in the room where somebody's like, "Hey, my friend is doing this," or "I have somebody who's doing this really cool thing," and you walk in the room and somebody puts up their pitch deck or they show you what they're doing, and you're like, oh my, like I don't know how to dial back the money you just invested in this, but I'm hoping that I can help save those you care about from doing the same until we tweak or move things. Or if they have a really good idea, just the presentation of it. I think sometimes a company can decide that they have some fan club in the family office space or otherwise, and that somehow that detracts from the need to have a tightened up pitch deck, and they need to have a really buttoned up business plan and teamwork and all the things that you normally would need to see in place. So I'll love to kind of follow up and hear how that goes, because I think all that really comes together and gets highlighted. So with that, I guess, can you share some details about how this addresses, the various areas you're talking about? You mentioned three key areas that you'll cover. What is it that you're hoping people take away from the event?
I think it really depends on who they are, right? So I think, as I said, like entrepreneurs, we want them to explore opportunities to go into different markets. We want them to get exposure from all the media's outlet that we are bringing in. We want them to talk to a lot of investors, right? So that's something that we wanted to create. And for investors, maybe this is more like our audience today. I think that's something that for the Wealth Summit, I'll let Michael talk about it later as well. I think that's it's just a half day event, but Beyond is like a three and a half day event. So we wanted to give the allocators, the family offices to talk within themselves, but then also explore different opportunities as well, to talk to great GPs, right? Or even talk to great founders, or even talk to different um, government officials from different countries that to learn more about what's happening in the country or city. So I think that's something that we would love to have our guests or attendees to take away from. It's to have a very broad sight of what Asia is about and what are the trends in Asia, and also to talk to I would say key stakeholders that they are interested in talking to.
Excellent. And Michael, for you, I know, again, a little bit different perspective, but this is where some of the synergies for sure come together, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think if you look at this way, Beyond Expo is absolutely Jason's Super Bowl. We definitely want everybody to come back every single year, same time, and then with a group of really like-minded and a nice, innovative sort of people, founders, investors, everything. For us, and I think we're a little bit sort of from different angles, where allocators, particularly from the family offices, one side we want to create a safe zone for them, and I really dive into the family relevant topics, things like investments, global macro. And then we did a survey for all the potential participants coming over. Their interests are around the world. I mean, so the interest in the art and culture, sport entertainment, they're interested in learning about the family governance. I think that's where this whole Wealth Summit is going to be curating a lot of different topics towards their interests. at the same time, obviously, Jason created a great platform for everybody to dive into this. And then so then this is group of investors and allocators and family offices will be having a lot of opportunities to meet founders and meet other government and corporates to learn what's the new trends right now in the world. And I think that's really, really important.
Well, and I think, the benefit you both provide among the many is that you're both actively living this. I know Michael, certainly in each of those areas, whether it's arts, sports, investing. Jason, you're both involved in these within your own families. So you're certainly bringing that firsthand experience to the table for everyone as you interact versus the event planning for it. You actually, again, are experiencing it as well. So everyone's lucky, I know, to get to spend the time with you. And so for first time attendees, those who are new to this and going to make the trip in for the first time, what should they expect? How can someone best prepare to get the most out of the time with you?
Yeah,
Michael, do you want to
want to
start?
talk
Yeah.
broader on the Beyond Expo side, and I can touch upon the family office side.
Perfect.
For the broader side, because we have a lot of activities actually. So not only the exhibition, we also have 3 days of forums. On our day one, we have the Global Investment Summit. It's a broader crowd with people who wants to learn more about the investment scene right now. So GP, LPs, founders, they're all welcomed. The second is we will do a very new thing that we are starting this year. We call it the Fun at First Pitch. So it's a very fast speed pitching sessions to all the speaker to all the investors. So imagine you guys are on a poker table. So that's so Macau, right? So Vegas, right? So that's how we wanted to do it. I'll show you guys more pictures afterwards, but that's how
Love
we
that.
wanted to create it. It is like the Macau Vegas vibe. I think we wanted to be very interactive. I wanted to be fun instead of just no normal demo day, which will take 10 to 15 minutes for a project. I think we will only take 1 to 2 minutes for each
Oh,
one for
okay.
them to pitch. So investor will be very time efficient. They will hear a lot of different projects, and that's how we wanted to do it as well. We provided investors, we call it the investor lounge as well, for them to talk to different people, for them to invite founders to come to talk to them as well. We have our wealth summit on day two, which is in the afternoon, and day three. Um, it's gonna be exhibition forums, a lot of our closing will be a lot of inspiration talks as well. And at night, people will be having a lot of fun. Hopefully, we have a lot of different parties, networking opportunities, dinner, gala dinner, everything. So I hope that everyone can stay through the whole course. Since if they are flying in from the States or from Europe, it would take them 13 to 14 hours, right? So might as well stay a little bit
Once you're there,
longer.
you're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Get all the food that they could have, and also meet all the people that they could meet. So that's basically, I think, for first time attendees to be on. I hope that's something that we could bring them to get involved in.
And so would it be safe to say, I always consider it such a compliment whenever I hear through FOA that we've done something that was a really safe and incredible place to learn and have fun. And it sounds like that's your goal here as well.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Oh, one more to add. Sorry, Michael. So we also have a charity poker night for investors. So, whoever wins has to pay forward to a charity of their choice. So
All right. Well,
so
you already
that's
know
something that
everybody
we
listening to
want.
this was going to go, but now you just edged it over the line for anybody who was hovering over the ticket purchase. But so Michael, and turning to you.
No, Jason, thanks to Jason and his entire amazing team, put together this amazing event. And from me, and I think I feel like you're creating a special lifestyle. And immerse yourself as much as you can while in Macau. So 3 days or 4 days, the agenda is going to be full. And then for us, and I think that for the family offices, we understand, we're created this platform for family offices to mingle, to networks, and then to learn from each other, to share what they're learning and what they're investing. But at the same time, I think sitting there, listening to panel, listening to keynotes are important. However, we purposely carve out second half of the whole Wealth Summit to be having a breakout session. So that actually family can really dive into a deep talk on various different topics and that they're interested, rather than sitting on a listening panel. So then I think surround them will be like 8 to 10 different families from all different world, and then so they can share what they do, and then they can really learn who they are, what their passion, and all things like that. But at the same time, we love to have everybody to sort of have a mentality of a give first and then ask what they are actually seeking for, particularly in the support side. And in our previous events in the last year, we have the same setup, at the Beyond Expo. Everybody is so amazed because it was the first time a lot of principals from the family open up and then they share a lot of loving stories and a lot of great stories that they never ever shared before to those second gens or third gens. And then those second gens and third gens learned a lot in terms of from the previous event. So they actually are coming back. And then so we're having more families globally to coming back to our event. And I think this year are going to be magnificent. But at the same time, we're paying a lot of attention to details, to the topics, and then Jason and Jason's team pay a lot of details to curating a well organized events for everybody to dive into and having a special experience, particularly in Macau.
Well, that's incredible. And Michael, thank you. And so for both of you, we'd love to do is definitely so excited about everything you're doing. And again, Michael, you and I've had a chance to speak for a while again about wanting things like this to foster an ongoing exchange and ongoing sharing. And so for anyone, again, listening who wants more information, what we'll do is I want to make sure we'll get some closing thoughts from each of you. But Jason, we're going to take you up on your offer of photos. And certainly I know you issued a press release, which will make sure we have the link out for everybody. And, really we'll microsite this as much as possible and with whatever you're able to share for everyone so that those who can access it for questions, we'll certainly encourage people to reach out to FOA through our DMs and all of that. And we'll make sure that we publish out any contact information you want to share as well. So if there are any closing thoughts, again, I'm so appreciative, and it continues to be a pleasure to get to know you. And now I know that there's going to be a large movement to spend several days in Macau with all of you, and can't wait. What do you see as the future of this? I guess I'll close with that. And where do you see this going in the coming years?
Michael.
Oh, I'll say on behalf of the Wealth Summit. I think in the long run, we share the same value with FOA, meaning, Wealth Summit is the way and is a platform and is one of the engagements that actually we hope have all the families to dive into this. But in the long run, I think when we're creating the community, we really pay attention to how we're creating more value to them. And then the value comes from, educational. The value comes from, interactive, and then the value comes from knowledge. So in the long run, I think, we'll love to create this platform with a whole bunch of like-minded people that are coming from all over the world, and the family business, family owners, and also family offices. They all can share what they do and then support each other. And then no matter there's Asian families coming to the States, they can reach out to any of the families in based in states, and then they're actually seeking for support. And I think at the end of the day, we're hoping we can aggregate a group of people that we can come back and sort of give back to society, that we actually are benefit a lot from them. And then so a lot of them are doing philanthropic initiatives, that they're doing social impacts, that they're doing art and culture. Just taking my family as example, we spend a lot of times on art preservation, and then spend a lot of time on education, and then spend time a lot of on food insecurity, and giving out a lot of different foods to children suffering from hunger. So I think that's important. We want to create that kind of a community for people considering non-capital contributions on non-capital legacies for the families. At the same time, there are many opportunities on the platform they can dive into for capital-driven legacies, so that they can seek for the future. So all in all, is we love to partner with FOA. We love to partner with families has big dreams, but at the same time in the process of transitioning next generation. So we love to partner with the next generations on bringing them together, creating a really nice, safe, and a sort of a bounded environment for people to network.
Awesome. Thank you, Michael. And I will say, for people who watch this, they're going to see, as you talk about capital activities and entrepreneurship, your face does light up a little bit. So you can see all the energy that you have behind it, and really appreciate that. And Jason, easy to tell the energy you bring to the table for all this. So your thoughts about where this is headed and the path forward.
Yeah, I think in short, we just want to be the go-to platform for people that wants to learn about Asia or are in Asia that are willing to learn more about different countries in Asia. I think that's what we want to create. It's the go-to platform where everyone can have fun, everyone can meet a lot of people, everyone can, as Michael said, get some value out of it. So that's basically what we wanted to create.
And would you agree, as I think the key for this, I look at the experience with FOA and across, the family offices that we're a part of, as truly an extended family. So I find when you do something like this, you really get out of it what you put into it in terms of being willing to extend yourselves, and get past kind of some of the surface level engagement. And I know, Michael, that goes to what you were talking about, but really being vulnerable enough to connect and form those relationships, and then be intentional about following up and expanding them afterward. So it sounds, again, Michael, everything you shared, and Jason as well, sounds like people who attend this, if they approach it with that mindset, really will have an incredible experience and a lot of takeaways, and be able to continue the journey afterwards. So thank you again, both of you, very, very much. We are going to make sure we track behind you closely here to share whatever information we can with everyone. Super excited to participate and support in whatever way we can help. And thank you both again for the time.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Jennifer.
Jennifer.